Welcome to Life Factually. You're always connected. So why do you feel so alone? Let's fix digital burnout and rebuild real connection. We live in a world that's more connected than ever before. Our smartphones, tablets, and computers keep us in constant touch with friends, family, and even strangers from across the globe. We can share our thoughts, photos, and experiences with just a few taps on a screen. The digital age has brought us unprecedented convenience and accessibility, making it easier than ever to stay in the loop and be part of the global conversation. Our devices buzz with notifications. Each ping, each vibration, is a call for our attention, a reminder that someone, somewhere, wants to connect with us. These notifications can be anything from a friend's message, a social media update, or a news alert. They create a sense of urgency, compelling us to check our devices constantly. Social media feeds overflow with updates. We scroll endlessly, consuming a never-ending stream of information, opinions, and images. It's a digital flood that can be both exhilarating and overwhelming. We see the highlights of other people's lives, their achievements, their joys, and sometimes their sorrows. It's a curated reality that often makes us question our own lives. Yet many of us feel a profound sense of loneliness. Despite being surrounded by people both online and offline, there's a growing feeling of isolation. We might be in a crowded cafe, a bustling street, or a packed subway, but the sense of connection is often missing. The digital interactions, while numerous, lack the depth and warmth of face-to-face conversations. How can we be so connected yet feel so alone? It's a question that many of us grapple with. The paradox of our time is that the tools designed to bring us closer together can sometimes drive us further apart. We might have hundreds of friends on social media, but how many of them truly know us? How many of them can we turn to in times of need? It's a paradox of our time, a side effect of the digital age that we're only beginning to understand. The constant connectivity can lead to digital fatigue, where the sheer volume of interactions becomes too much to handle. We start to feel overwhelmed, and the quality of our connection suffers. The more we try to keep up, the more we feel like we're falling behind. The truth is, true connection, the kind that nourishes our souls, can't be replicated through a screen. Genuine human interaction involves more than just words. It includes body language, facial expressions, and the energy that flows between people when they are physically present with each other. These are the elements that create a deep and meaningful bond. Real connection requires vulnerability, empathy, and shared experiences. It's about being open and honest, showing our true selves and being willing to listen and understand others. It's about creating moments that matter, moments that we can look back on and cherish. These are the connections that give our lives meaning and purpose. It requires us to be present, to listen deeply, and to offer our authentic selves without fear of judgment. In a world where we are constantly distracted by our devices, being fully present is a rare and precious gift. It's about putting down our phones, looking into each other's eyes, and truly engaging with the people around us. These are things that often get lost in the digital world, where curated versions of ourselves reign supreme. We present the best parts of our lives, editing out the flaws and imperfections. But real connection comes from sharing our whole selves, the good and the bad, the successes and the struggles. It's about being real and authentic. This essay explores the impact of constant online connection on our well-being. We'll look at how the digital age affects our mental and emotional health, and why so many of us feel disconnected despite being constantly connected. We'll examine the ways in which our devices can both help and hinder our ability to form meaningful relationships. We'll delve into the science behind digital burnout and loneliness, exploring how our brains and hearts react to the relentless demands of the online world. Research shows that excessive screen time can lead to stress, anxiety, and depression. We'll look at the neurological and psychological effects of being constantly plugged in and how it impacts our ability to connect with others. More importantly, we'll discuss practical, actionable steps you can take to reclaim your time, attention, and most importantly, your sense of connection. From setting boundaries with your devices to prioritizing face-to-face interactions, there are many ways to create a healthier balance between the digital and the real world. We'll provide tips and strategies to help you build stronger, more meaningful relationships, because you deserve to feel seen, heard, and understood. You deserve to have relationships that enrich your life and bring you joy. It's about finding the right balance, where technology enhances rather than detracts from your connections. You deserve to experience the joy of genuine human connection, the kind of connection that makes you feel alive, valued, and loved. It's about creating moments that matter, moments that you can look back on with a smile. And you have the power to create that for yourself. By being mindful of how you use technology and making a conscious effort to connect with others in meaningful ways, you can build a life filled with rich, rewarding relationships. It's about taking control of your digital life and making choices that prioritize real human connection. One of the biggest contributors to digital burnout is the fear of missing out, or FOMO. This phenomenon has become increasingly prevalent in our hyper-connected world, where social media platforms and instant messaging apps dominate our daily lives. The constant barrage of updates, notifications, and messages creates an environment where we feel perpetually on edge, always wondering what we might be missing out on. It's that nagging feeling that something exciting is always happening somewhere else, and that everyone else is having a better time than we are. This sense of inadequacy and the fear of being left out can be overwhelming, leading us to constantly check our phones and social media feeds in an attempt to stay connected and in the loop. And if we're not online, we'll miss it. This fear is exacerbated by the curated nature of social media, where people often share only the highlights of their lives, creating an illusion of constant excitement and happiness. This can make our own lives seem dull in comparison, further fueling our desire to stay connected and not miss out on anything. This fear is constantly fueled by social media algorithms designed to keep us scrolling, liking, and comparing. These algorithms are specifically engineered to capture our attention and keep us engaged for as long as possible, often at the expense of our mental well-being. The more we engage with these platforms, the more they learn about our preferences and habits, making it even harder to break free from the cycle of constant connectivity. FOMO drives us to check our phones incessantly, to refresh our feeds compulsively, and to prioritize online interactions over real-life experiences. This can lead to a sense of disconnection from the people and activities that truly matter, as we become more focused on our digital lives than our physical ones. To refresh our feeds compulsively, and to prioritize online interactions over real-life experiences. This behavior can have a detrimental impact on our mental health, leading to increased feelings of anxiety, depression, and loneliness. The more we rely on our phones and social media for validation and connection, the more we risk losing touch with the real world and the people around us. And to prioritize online interactions over real-life experiences, we fall into the trap of constant availability, feeling obligated to respond to every message, email, and notification immediately. This creates a sense of urgency and pressure that can be difficult to manage, leading to increased stress and burnout. We fall into the trap of constant availability, feeling obligated to respond to every message, email, and notification immediately. This creates a never-ending cycle of digital stimulation that leaves us feeling exhausted and depleted. The constant need to be available and responsive can take a toll on our mental and physical health, making it difficult to find time for rest and relaxation. Feeling obligated to respond to every message, email, and notification immediately. This creates a never-ending cycle of digital stimulation that leaves us feeling exhausted and depleted. The truth is, we can't be everything to everyone, online and offline. Our energy is finite and we need to be mindful of how we spend it. This creates a never-ending cycle of digital stimulation that leaves us feeling exhausted and depleted. The truth is, we can't be everything to everyone, online and offline. Our energy is finite, and we need to be mindful of how we spend it. By setting healthy boundaries and prioritizing our well-being, we can break free from the FOMO trap and reclaim our time and attention. The truth is, we can't be everything to everyone, online and offline. Our energy is finite, and we need to be mindful of how we spend it. By setting healthy boundaries and prioritizing our well-being, we can break free from the FOMO trap and reclaim our time and attention. This means taking deliberate steps to disconnect from our devices and reconnect with the world around us. Our energy is finite, and we need to be mindful of how we spend it. By setting healthy boundaries and prioritizing our well-being, we can break free from the FOMO trap and reclaim our time and attention. This means taking deliberate steps to disconnect from our devices and reconnect with the world around us. Whether it's spending time in nature, engaging in a hobby, or simply enjoying the company of loved ones, these moments of genuine connection can help us feel more grounded and fulfilled. By setting healthy boundaries and prioritizing our well-being, we can break free from the FOMO trap and reclaim our time and attention. This means taking deliberate steps to disconnect from our devices and reconnect with the world around us. Whether it's spending time in nature, engaging in a hobby, or simply enjoying the company of loved ones, these moments of genuine connection can help us feel more grounded and fulfilled. It's important to remember that our worth is not determined by our online presence or the number of likes and comments we receive. We can break free from the FOMO trap and reclaim our time and attention. By focusing on what truly matters and being present in the moment, we can lead more balanced and fulfilling lives. It's time to take control of our digital habits and prioritize our well-being so we can enjoy the richness of real-life experiences without the constant pressure of staying connected online. The human brain is an incredible organ, capable of amazing feats of learning, creativity, and problem-solving. But it's not a machine designed for constant multitasking and information overload. Yet, that's exactly what we ask of our brains every day in the digital age. We juggle multiple tabs, scroll through social media feeds, respond to emails, and consume news, all while trying to hold conversations and make decisions. This constant barrage of information overloads our cognitive capacity, leading to mental fatigue, reduced attention spans, and difficulty concentrating. The consequences of cognitive overload are significant. It can impact our productivity, creativity, and decision-making abilities. It can also contribute to stress, anxiety, and sleep disturbances. By understanding the limits of our cognitive capacity and taking steps to manage digital information overload, we can protect our mental health and well-being. We crave connection. It's a fundamental human need. From the moment we are born, we seek out the warmth and comfort of others. It's in our nature to form bonds, to share our lives, and to find solace in the presence of those we care about. In the absence of real-life interactions, it's easy to turn to the digital world to fill the void. The allure of instant communication and the ability to connect with anyone, anywhere, at any time, can be incredibly tempting. We collect followers, amass online friends, and engage in countless digital conversations. Our social media profiles become a hub of activity, a place where we can share our thoughts, our photos, and our lives with the world. But are these connections truly fulfilling our need for human connection? Despite the constant notifications and the endless stream of messages, many of us still feel a sense of emptiness. The reality is that digital connections can often be superficial. We may have hundreds of friends online, but how many of them truly know us? How many of them would be there for us in times of need? We present curated versions of ourselves online, highlighting the positive and downplaying the negative. Our social media feeds are filled with carefully selected moments, designed to portray a certain image. We engage in fleeting interactions, lacking the depth and nuance of face-to-face conversations. A text message or a comment on a post can never replace the warmth of a hug or the comfort of a friend's voice. While these digital connections can provide a sense of belonging, they often fall short of providing the true intimacy and support that we crave. The screen between us and the other person can create a barrier, preventing us from truly connecting on a deeper level. It's important to be mindful of the difference between digital contact and real connection. While it's wonderful to stay in touch with friends and family online, we must not forget the value of in-person interactions. While social media and other online platforms can be valuable tools for staying connected, they should not be a substitute for real-life relationships. True connection comes from shared experiences, from being present in the moment, and from the genuine bonds we form with those around us. Time poverty, the silent killer of meaningful relationships. The digital age has created a new kind of poverty, time poverty. We are constantly bombarded with demands on our time and attention, leaving us feeling like we never have enough time for the things that truly matter, like nurturing our relationships. We spend hours scrolling through social media, consuming news, and engaging in online entertainment. These activities can be enjoyable in moderation, but they often come at the expense of quality time with loved ones, hobbies, and other activities that bring us joy and fulfillment. This time poverty has a significant impact on our relationships. When we're constantly distracted by our devices, we're not fully present with the people around us. We miss out on the subtle cues, the shared laughter, and the intimate moments that strengthen our bonds. Rebuilding authentic connections. Small steps, big impact. The good news is that it's never too late to reclaim your life from digital overload and rebuild authentic connections. It starts with making small changes in your daily life, being intentional about how you spend your time and energy. Remember, You deserve to experience the joy of genuine connection. You are worthy of deep, meaningful relationships that nourish your soul and bring you happiness. It's time to start prioritizing your well-being and creating a life that is both connected and fulfilling. Let's explore some practical steps you can take to break free from the digital burnout trap and rediscover the power of real-life connections. One of the most effective ways to combat digital burnout is to set healthy boundaries around your technology use. This means being mindful of how much time you spend online and setting limits that work for you. Start by identifying your digital triggers. What are the apps or websites that tend to suck you in and steal your time? Once you're aware of your triggers, you can start to set limits on your usage. This might mean using app timers, scheduling specific times for checking social media, or designating certain areas of your home as device-free zones. Remember, setting boundaries is not about deprivation, it's about reclaiming your time and attention for the things that truly matter. By being intentional about your technology use, you can create space in your life for deeper connections, meaningful experiences, and greater well-being. While deep, meaningful relationships are essential, don't underestimate the power of micro-connections, those small, seemingly insignificant interactions we have with people throughout our day. These micro-connections can happen anywhere, in line at the coffee shop, at the park with your dog, or even just exchanging a smile with a stranger on the street. They don't require a lot of time or effort, but they can have a surprisingly positive impact on our well-being. Making an effort to engage in micro-connections throughout your day can help you feel more connected to your community and less alone in the world. It's a reminder that even in our fast-paced digital world, opportunities for human connection are all around us if we just take the time to notice. In our increasingly digital world, it's easy to become isolated and disconnected from our communities. We may live in close proximity to our neighbors but know very little about them. We may work remotely, interacting with colleagues solely through screens. Yet humans are social creatures wired for connection and belonging. Being part of a community provides us with a sense of purpose, support, and shared identity. It reminds us that we're not alone in our struggles and that we have something valuable to offer the world. Making an effort to engage in your community, whether it's volunteering, joining a local club, or simply striking up conversations with your neighbors, can have a profound impact on your sense of belonging and well-being. Living a connected and fulfilling life in the digital age requires conscious effort. It requires us to be mindful of how we spend our time and energy, to set healthy boundaries around our technology use, and to prioritize real-life connections over digital distractions. It's about reclaiming your attention, your time, and your energy for the things that truly matter: your relationships, your passions, and your well-being. You deserve to experience the joy, intimacy, and support that come from authentic human connection. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. Many are struggling with the same challenges of digital burnout and loneliness. By taking small steps each day to prioritize your well-being and cultivate meaningful connections, you can create a life that is both fulfilling and connected. Let's talk about building a community of real connections. Imagine a space where you can share your experiences, learn from others, and grow together. This is what we aim to create here at Life Factually. A community where you can find support, encouragement, and inspiration from people who are on the same journey as you. How do you fight digital burnout? Comment below. What small steps have you taken to prioritize real-life connections? Your insights could be the spark that helps someone else on their journey. Subscribe to Life Factually for more life-changing facts. Together, we can build a community that values and nurtures authentic human connections.